What the fuck? There's a ladder over there. There's a ladder over there. Greetings, Tentacrew. My name is Billy the Squid, and if Hyde's Tower of Flame does not look how you remember it, that's because it is not. Making sweeping changes to landscape, enemy placements, enemy behaviors, and more. The subject of today's video is without a doubt the best modded Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin experience available. And I want to talk about why that is amazing and also very bittersweet. Tonight, we are talking about the Augur of Darkness mod for Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin. So let me explain why I feel that this mod in particular is the pinnacle of what Dark Souls 2 modding achieved, and why I think this, if you are going to go for a Dark Souls 2 modded experience, this is the one that you need to go for. And it comes down to a few different caveats, but the most important and probably the biggest from the start of the game is how the modder actually varied out level design. They were able to pull environmental assets from the code and actually build out levels, build out ways so that it forced you to either go down side paths that you didn't originally go down or build completely new paths altogether. This was something I had never seen before in Dark Souls modding, especially the being able to use assets to create new terrain, new pathways themselves. That was unheard of to me, and I think that is the biggest innovation that this mod brings to the table when compared to mods from Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 3, although there are some Dark Souls 3 mods that are finally diving into that realm as well. And this mod is also kind of a bit deceitful in the fact that it is actually a two-step mod. You have the original Augur of Darkness mod that is going to change up your enemy placements. It's going to change up your level design. It is going to add new level assets to the game for you. But you also get a speed demon mod that comes along with it. This is a cheat engine based mod where you turn it on whenever you start the game, and it is going to change how enemies behave. They are either going to speed up or it's going to vary their attack patterns so much that it kind of makes it a little bit more difficult for the familiar brain of Dark Souls 2 to really gauge what is coming at you. Attacks will come out faster, so you'll think that you're safe and have time to roll when you can't. Attacks might be delayed. There have actually been some bosses in the game where their movesets, depending on which move they do, one move might have been slowed down and another might have been sped up. In a game that already played with attack timings more than almost any other Dark Souls game, this is a very good innovation that keeps things fresh for returning players. This, combined with the changed landscape, makes a very fresh experience. Going through the Forest of the Fallen Giants, Hyde's Tower of Flame were a joy to replay through because in the case of Forest of the Fallen Giants, the game actually routed you through all of the side paths by blocking off doors, adding environmental assets that just prevented you from going one way or another, and added on to these side paths so that they actually were able to connect, interspersed with the rest of the level. And then in the case with Hyde's Tower of Flame, completely new level assets were added all around, creating some platforming puzzles that I found extremely fresh. It also added alternate routes to get over to where Ornstein is at, as well as a new place for your NPC from Hyde's Tower of Flame to be, so that you can unlock other areas of the game sooner without having to go and fight the Dragon Rider immediately. And from an environmental standpoint, I feel like these two areas show the most promise out of what the modder wanted to do. There are a few bosses that also innovated quite well, and that genuinely took me by surprise. One of which was the Old Iron King. Combined with the Speed Demon mod, his attacks are actually somewhat threatening, with the Flame Breath sweeping much faster, the laser beam coming out a lot quicker, and his slams and swipes being just that much more threatening. But the thing that did it for me with this fight is how the modder overhauled the level. They added the steel platform similar to the one that the Turtle Knight slams and breaks at the midpoint of the Iron Keep, and these are scattered throughout the boss arena, and as the boss attacks, he will actually be dropping those plates down, shrinking your attack arena down in the process. There are permanent paths that go up and around so that you're not going to be completely stuck. It's not going to island you out where you have to make like a leap of faith jump, but it is a refreshing way to implement this. there's 2 holes in the middle of the arena that the modder added where he will dive down and come up into the other one as the fights go on. The second, and probably the most surprising, as you will see from this clip, was going into the Twin Dragon Riders fight. What was once a joke of a fight has become Ornstein and Smo Part 2, and while it does not have the same charm or difficulty that the original Ornstein and Smo fight had, it was a very surprising and unique callback to that, and I think the fight was executed extremely well. Ornstein's attacks were sped up compared to the Ornstein that you fight at Hyde's Tower of Flame, making him that much more threatening. He also had quite a chunky health pool. When compared to the Smo of this fight, or Veldstadt, in poison form, he was pulled directly from the Squalid Queen boss fight. He is slowed down, actually. So they didn't want to completely overwhelm the player with 2 super tanky, super fast enemies. So they made Ornstein the main threat, and then the Veldstadt being more of a supplemental threat. Bringing things back in line, this showed a lot of promise for what could have been done to most of the bosses of this game. But unfortunately, this comes to where I feel like this mod is very bittersweet. This mod innovated so much. It had so many different arching ways that you could go through the levels, at least at the beginning. As the mod goes on, I don't know if the modders' passion for the project dropped down, or if they just didn't see the ability to edit later game levels like they did early game levels, because we can be honest here, later game levels do get significantly more linear than what the earlier stages do, and have a lot less room for actually altering the field in a meaningful way with unique assets. The modder stayed very strong to keep enemy placements fresh and exciting. Having a ton of new enemies placed around, it actually made Aldia's Keep an extremely threatening and difficult area to get through right from the get-go. But from the magic that I saw with the environment manipulation at the beginning, it did leave me disappointed. And this disappointment only grew whenever I saw a lot of the bosses were either just sped up or altered their attack patterns, and there was no real difference in the boss fights. The Old Iron King, the Twin Dragon Riders were very, very good executions of what could have been for all of the bosses. And I just feel like it is a slight wasted potential with how the mod ended out. As the mod kept going, I kept getting more and more disappointed that I wasn't seeing more of these unique assets that really stoked my fire and wanted me to push through this mod. Not saying that what the later levels bring are not good, but I feel like it's a twofold thing where either the modder's passion for the project was dropping, or there was just less demand for a Dark Souls 2 mod. Dark Souls 2, while it is my personal favorite of the franchise, is one of the most panned games From Software has put out. It is a very polarizing game. You either love the game or it is your least favorite Souls game or least favorite From Software game to date. And I feel like that polarization kind of also can sap a creative's mindset. If you know that people aren't excited about your product, you're going to put less effort into your product. That is not always the case. Passion can carry you completely through, and you can make a product that is only intended for yourself, and if other people enjoy it, that is great. But from a creative standpoint, if the end goal is not being cheered for and demanded, it can make it so that you're like, okay, I've done so much work on this stuff, I just want to get it done at this point. And that kind of feels like what it was going as the stages progressed. That being said, would I recommend Augur of Darkness to anybody that has played Dark Souls 2 and was wanting to go into a Dark Souls 2 mod? I would highly recommend Augur of Darkness. Definitely with the Speed Demon add-on. It changes the game up enough that it was very much an enjoyable experience going through the game. Things I would have liked to have seen might have been a bit more difficult. I don't know how much the engine for Dark Souls 2 is actually holding back modders from being able to manipulate this game, but I would have liked to seen some item placements changed up more. I would have liked to have seen some more stat-based changes, or maybe some weapon-based changes, give some weapons some additional effects, or even adding some other unique aspects to the game that could have varied the experience, like maybe some armor having some different effects and whatnot. Minor things, but I don't know. Again, I'm not a modder. I don't know how much the game itself is holding back modders from being able to dive into that and manipulate the game in that way. That being said, what Augur of Darkness does is give you another playthrough of a game that you either love or hate, but it changes it up enough so that it does feel like a very fresh and unique experience. The air of familiarity is there, but it is always offset with a slight edge of the unexpected as you round a corner and see a mob of enemies that you're not used to, or see completely different environments. We're going to be going through quite a bit more modded Dark Souls as we build up to Elden Ring, so if you're interested in that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And maybe check out the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Billy_the_Skwid. We have been running through these mods live on stream. Maybe go check it out if you are so inclined. But until next time, much love, Tentacrew.